In Jesus' name we pray. Remember, my brothers and sisters, remember not to forget Deuteronomy 7:18 says, you shall not be afraid of them. You shall well remember what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and to Egypt. The same thing that God did to Pharaoh and Egypt, he can do for your mother's enemy. And that's totally annihilate them. If you will pray, and if you would give yourself over to God, brothers and sisters, God can bring back that mother back to her right mind, back to a state of sanity where she knows her job, where she knows her calling as a mother to love, to nurture, and to protect. I pray for those mothers today that have lost their way. That could have been my mother. I thank God that my mother stayed the course for 44 years. It was hard, but she stayed the course. She raised a knucklehead boy. I thank God that she stayed the course. And when I think that she could have went the other way, it breaks my heart to know that there are mothers that have gone the other way. And shame on those people that turned their backs up on them. Because what if that had been you that failed and lost your way? Would you want someone to come after you? Would you want someone to say there is help for the lost? There's help for those that have went down the wrong path. If Jesus forgave, shouldn't we? If Jesus loved in spite of ourselves, shouldn't we? If Jesus gave himself for the lost, shouldn't we? My prayers goes out to the mothers that have lost their way, the ones that didn't get roses, didn't get taken out to dinner, didn't get told how valuable they are. Well, I tell you today, God loves you. And so do I. God loves you with the concerning compassion that he has for all mankind. You are valuable, mothers. Never forget, there is a place at the cross for you. So remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all? Everybody good? I hope everybody's doing good this morning, and I'm so glad that you're along here with me this morning. Phone lines are open. We'll let them talk about, do whatever you guys would like to do or talk about, and find out, answer, whatever's on your mind. Of course, that's what we set out to do. Our job today on this program is to ask and answer. That's why it's called Ask Your Neighbor. We talk about a lot of stuff, and I'm going to talk about some stuff today. We're going to talk about it, and you guys can weigh in if you want, and you don't have to weigh in if you don't want. I don't know. You know, those of you that have known me for any length of time know that I can talk enough for all of us. I'm going to start with this. Sunday, April 14th. I hope Tracy's listening. Tracy, are you listening? Text me and let me know. I got a call at my house. It was a Sunday evening. I got a call at my house. Sunday afternoon, actually. I was sitting out on my back porch. Tracy and I were. I got a call from a person who said, I'm really concerned about our Anderson County school systems. And I was like, okay. Now, understand, my son Trey is getting ready to graduate from Clinton High School. He's been accepted into UT, into the music department. He will be part of the Pride of the Southland Band. He scored a 30 on his ACTs. I am unbelievably proud of the young man, and he is brilliant. He is a product of Clinton Elementary School, our middle schools, and Clinton High School. My twins just turned 14 a week ago, well, the 29th, a week or so ago. They currently are enrolled in Clinton Middle School. So this person that calls me, and they are in these school systems, first thing they start to talk about are husband and wives working in the same school system and how the personal relationships affect work, like when the husband and the wife work together. There are numerous circumstances that's going on, and how that reflects or impacts negatively on the work situation. And how, in fact, this person said, it had been addressed, where it said, hey, because if they get into a fight or something bad's at home, or maybe, whatever happens, life happens to all of us, but then the husband and the wife in the same school or in the same school system are both burdened with the same problem. And the question was asked, why do we have such overwhelming nepotism? Well, I didn't know that we did till I got to checking. It's amazing. And I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't know. Tim Parrott is listening right now. He could tell us. What is the policy in Anderson County Schools about hiring your husband if you're a principal or assistant principal, or if you're a school board? I don't know. School board members are kind of isolated, but we've got a lot of that in our county school. This is what this person was telling me, all right? This person started with that, and they said, do you mind to see if there is a if there is a procedure, or if there is a rule about hiring your own son or daughter or husband or your family? I responded that my mom is from Norris. My dad is from Campbell County. I can't throw a rock and not hit somebody that's related to me. So I said, I don't know how, there are going to be people working together that are related. We've got thousands of children in this school system, and it takes hundreds of teachers and administrators to take care of that. But they said, okay, let's just stay with husband and wives, or dating inside of the schools, or mothers, fathers, sons, daughters. Okay. So I'm asking publicly, what's the rule on that? Is that allowed? And if I don't get an answer here on the air, I guess I could call Human Resources and ask Kim, and through the Freedom of Information, get complete list of everybody that's there, personnel files, and find out who's related to who, or who's sleeping with who, and who's doing what, or whatever, if it's going on. But I'll just first politely ask, what's the policy? Is there one? Okay, so that was the first thing that this person asked me. Again, I'm taking you back to the 14th day of April. Then they said, okay, the next thing is on April 10th, we had a preschool kindergarten age autistic child walk past a teacher. They got this on video. Teacher was on her phone. exit the school and was found 30 minutes later in the creek behind Lake City Elementary School. A passerby found the child, alerted the school, and they took appropriate steps. And so, again, this was Sunday the 14th, and they said, why have you not reported this? Why has no one said anything about this? So I called somebody I know, and they said they were told not to discuss it. And I guess I can understand that. I mean, if you've got a school, because the video, according to what I was told, and then what the mother of the child later posted on social media, child walked right past the teacher who was nose deep in the phone. I'm going to say teacher, who walked past the person that was there to watch the children in the gymnasium, walked outside, and they found this autistic child in the creek. I bet you guys didn't know about that, did you? I did not report that. I waited because I couldn't get, well, let me tell you this. The person that told me says, if you say something, I will most likely get fired, which I think, I don't know if that's right or not. I said, let me sit on it and see if I can confirm what you're telling me somewhere else so that I can report it. I didn't want to say anonymous. I hate when people do that, and I don't like to do that. Our news guy, Jim Miller, doesn't like to do that. So I proceeded to try and get information on that, which I did, but it wasn't until, 2 weeks ago that I published that story. The third thing that they asked me to look into was grades being changed at Clinton High School that led to, this person told me at the time, the firing of a teacher and the principal, which now is accurate. They did fire the teacher. The principal quit when was told that they were going to be investigated. That's Dan Jenkins. So we reported that because I was able to get pretty quick confirmation on that, because when you put somebody on administrative leave or you fire somebody or whatever, it's in the personnel file, and it's pretty easy to have somebody look at that. And furthermore, we in the press have rights and access to that, to the Freedom of Information Act. Anytime that we ask for it, Kim has a certain amount of time that she produces it for us. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. There were persons who had documents and information that made it, we knew it was accurate. Let me put it to you that way. So I reported that, to which, if you guys go back and look, and I ask you to go back and look at what the people said when I reported that grade changes were going on at the high school. I think one person posted on there that it was false news, fake news. That was not going on. In fact, one person that now serves on the city school board, who wants to be on the city council, said that it was just me making up false stuff and a lot of other things. Really, really flipped me out that that stuff was being defended by somebody who is supposed to be representing our children at our elementaries. Our elementary schools are stellar. I really can't believe that we have somebody that would be defending changing grades and still representing our stellar elementary school. All you got to do is go back. Actually, thank goodness my wife takes screenshots, because they went back and deleted all of it when all of this stuff came out that said it's not just true, there's a bucket more of it. And there's even more than the story that you read yesterday morning on our website. So we published that story, and I did make a mistake. Jim posted that it was the principal and his wife, and it was not. It was a principal and a teacher. And we corrected that immediately when we found it. And again, it was a Sunday. It's hard to get people to talk, hard to get people on Sunday. You don't want to mess with people on Sunday. So it was Monday. The next day, 15th rolled around. And we said, hey, principal's been, a principal quit and teachers fired in a grade manipulation scandal. And then I personally, even though I'm not the news guy, I personally was attacked. Oh, Ron hates our schools, this, that, and the other. Which anyone that's been here for, I don't know. I've only been here on the radio for 35 years, but if you've been around any amount of time, or if you're in the school system, a lot of the school systems don't like that I spout my Republican conservative views, because most don't see the same way. So it doesn't matter what I do or don't say, because they don't like Trump, they don't like me. And I'm sorry, I didn't get mad at anybody that voted for Biden. But that said, we were accosted. I was personally called names and everything else. Again, these are by people that are at least on our Clinton City Council. Guess what? It was true. I knew it was true then. I didn't respond back. I didn't say anything. But we published it that the grades were being changed at Clinton High School. At the time, we didn't know exactly why, but we knew they'd been changed. So you get this 17-page document emailed to me Monday night. I guess it was early in the morning. It was in the wee hours of the morning. That thousands upon thousands of grades were changed just in a 4-month period. That over the that grade changing at Clinton High School, had been going on since the teacher that is no longer employed said since Principal Jenkins had been hired, which is 2020. It's 4 years. And it's unclear to me, you look at the documents, how or why. But I'm simply reading from it's not deposition, it's basically the teachers cooperating as they're being fired and telling what happened. The kids didn't take the classes they were supposed to take in order to graduate. They would just move them to a quote-unquote virtual class, and then in some cases, kids would complete 8 full courses. And you think about that. When they go to school during the day, they don't even go to 8 classes. How many classes do they have a day? 6? I don't know. 8 full courses. That's like a year of courses, or at least a block of courses, in less than 5 days, and then scored great. Scored enough to get them to the next level. It's been documented that grades were changed for kids. These are the 3 things, the 3 reasons that we've got. Grades were changed to help kids continue to play sports. Grades were changed to help kids graduate. And this is a quote. Grades were changed to get the bad ones out of Clinton High School. Who picked the bad ones? And where are all you people that were hating on the radio station April 14th and 15th? Why is my phone's not lighting up defending grade changing? You won't hear from them, I promise. They might hide behind some anonymous Facebook character and post. But the quality of their courage, their commitment, and who they are as a person will show when they don't stand up for it. To my face, to Jim Miller's face, to anybody that works here or on the radio or on the phone. So I'm challenging you right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll read you the documents. I mean, There's plenty of them. 17 pages worth. Salacious. So, I don't like to pile on people. I really don't. I've done enough stupid stuff in my life. And I don't, we don't go search out bad news. We don't even search out news. We see news happen and we say it. We don't go looking for it. News is not something that you create. You don't create news. There are people that make news. If you win the lottery today, you're going to make the news. I don't create that. I report that. So I ask you this. Are you a parent or are you a grandparent whose child was, I'm going to use the word bullied or maybe pressured into online school? Or did your child just miraculously have grade changes and they graduate? I've got a personal friend who told us their child sat in the office of a Clinton administrator who told them, quote, "We are going to raise all of your grades for the year to help you move forward, move on." And when I asked them, well, what did you think about that? She said, "I love," administrator's name, "because she changed all my grades, and now I'm going to pass." Now, this is at the school systems that your tax dollars pay for. Every teacher, every janitor, they say, "Oh, we get money from the state." Well, where's the state get their money? You, me, it's our money. There are so many wonderful, fabulous teachers. Where were you guys for 4 years? Why did nobody step up and say, stop? After 3 years, the teacher said, "I won't do it anymore." So they took her out of the virtual program and put in the baseball coach, who, like I said, the document says he, in 4 months, changed thousands of grades. How many failing kids do we have at Clinton High School that you can change thousands of grades in 4 hours? And then I got condemned because in the article that we posted on April 15th, I referred to Commissioner Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen, or maybe it was on that Tuesday as part of, after the article had come out, but he brought forth state grades of the schools and showing Clinton Elementary School, A's and what a great start, and then showed Clinton Middle School with a D. Also, guess what? Clinton High School had an A. You know what? I'm going to say thank you to Clinton Middle School. At least you guys aren't trying to cover stuff up. You might be having a rough moment, but you didn't falsify records to give yourself an A like Clinton High School did. Or I assume that how'd they get an A rating as a school when they changed thousands of grades in months? I don't know. Again, I report facts. Today, it's Ron Meredith asking questions. I called my friend Michael Foster last night. I was needing somebody's telephone number, and I was just kidding him. Larry Foster His dad was our superintendent of schools, director of schools. And it's a family that I love. They are a fantastic asset to our community. In fact, Larry Foster's probably cutting hay today and raising puppies. By the way, he just had a new litter of puppies. You know, Larry raises, he and his wife, they raise, is it terriers? Oh, I can't remember. They're cute little dogs. But they raise them and sell them all over the world. And that's what he's doing these days. When I was kidding, I said, hey, how would you like to be director of school these days? He's like, please no. So it's just me now. What do you do? If you're a mom or a dad or a grandmother or whatever out there, maybe your child was competing for a scholarship, one of these $500, $1,000 scholarships, right? Maybe they're doing it right this second as we speak. You've got a child, he's getting ready to go to Cumberland College, or maybe ETSU, or maybe to UT or MIT, I don't know. And let's say your child went to Clinton High School. And then let's say there's a child that, I don't know, let's say they went to Carnes High School. And let's say your child, a grandchild, has a 3.9 grade point average, and so does the Carnes High School kid. Let's say he scored 26 on the ACT, so did the Carnes High School kid. Let's say Beta Club. Let's say community participation. Let's say every single thing about those two children are equal, except one thing. One child comes from a school who changes grades to move their kids to the next level because either they're the bad kids or they need a little bump to look like a better school system, better school. Who do you think the awarder of the scholarship is going to go with? Do you think they're going to take the risk and give it to the kid whose grades might have been changed to make him he or she look a little better? Or the kid from Carnes who don't have an administration, a school board, a director of schools, or that all of this has happened on their watch? Why would you want the headache or then having to go back? Are we going to have to go back for 4 years and see if scholarships, college applications, what about games? What about athletic games, football games? If we have a child that was on our football field that wasn't academically allowed to play football, the TSSAA told me they're going to take all those victories away for however how many years it was going on that they can find and prove. And if they haven't opened an investigation into it, it's not far behind. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer, cricket. What are we going to have? Do they take all those games away for a day, a year, a month, a lifetime? Do we get to keep playing sports? I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm reading the documents that have so far come out. I'm going to ask the powers that be, the people that are in charge, the folks that we pay to educate our children and help us as parents mold them into good people. If you believe it's right, changing grades is the way to mold our kids into good people. Because that's what you've done, and then try to hide it. So the rest of the stuff that's going on, went on, that they've not revealed yet, we'll talk about that too. But I want to ask first that the people who are supposed to monitor it, maintain it, police it, take care of it, do so now. So guys like me I don't like waving your dirty laundry in the air, but when it's about our kids, oh, you can bet your life. And I have used and instructed our news department, our news director, we don't have a department, we got a guy, to use more restraint than we've ever used. You can ask our former news director, Jim Harris, who by the way, nickels and dimes and substitute teaches. He's inside the school system. Ask him how gingerly we treat things like this. So here's my question. Will you disclose all the other stuff that's going on? Will you discipline or replace the administrators that it's went on knowingly, that are still in the school system under their nose? Make it all public and correct it. And I want to ask you as parents, do you feel like you have been subjected to this, or your children or your grandchildren? Were your kids one of the bad ones? Graduated school and can't read. Remember Big John Tate? Get them through, get them out. We don't want their kind bringing our grade level down. Is that what we become in Clinton, Tennessee? Man, when I chose to buy my business here in 1990, I had the opportunity to buy a radio station in Phoenix, Summersville, Georgia, Holly Hill, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida. We had 7 properties. That I had to make a decision on where I wanted my family to be and I wanted to be. I picked Clinton. And to tell the truth, part of it was because I'm from Campbell County. My mom's from Norris. My dad's from La Follette. I'm from La Follette, old Jacksboro. And after being gone, after being out west for a number of years, it was so comforting to be this close to my mom and dad, my brother, and my family. But part of it, too, was Clinton. I had a great knowledge of Clinton. My mom, my papa lived in Norris and in Andersonville at one time. Oh, I've got family listening to me right now. I guess she is my great Aunt June is 101. She's tuned in this morning. Well, usually she is. I did that because I love this area, and I've grown. Not only have I grown to love it, I've tried to participate in it, to be part of it. And I'm not saying that people don't make some huge, stupid mistakes. We do, but ask Richard Nixon. The mistake is nowhere near as bad as the cover-up. And why? I'm going to take you back to one more instance before I start answering the phone. Beginning of the school year, right? My stepdaughter, Demi, starting high school, right? High school is, you remember what it's like, right? I mean, it's a scary thing. So, we're doing what we do as parents, getting them ready, for high school and such. And notice that she's tardy. I dropped her off on time. I know it. Not only that, I got cameras in the car. I can tell. Or on the phone. I can tell you when I drop somebody off. So Demi's tardy. Demi missed first period. Demi did this. Then I get a note that says, we are now going to start school early. We're changing the start time of school. I only thought, we're changing the start time of school. We're moving it up. Instead of school starting at 8:45 or whatever, it's going to be 8:35. We're starting school. So if you're not here at 8:35, you're now tardy. And if you're tardy 3 times, you're absent. If you're absent 3 times, you're doing isolated lunch. We hadn't got through the first 2 weeks of freshman year, and they were saying, Oh, you're doing isolated lunch. I picked the phone up and said, I called Dr. Tim Parrott. I said, Dr. Parrott, when you have children in the elementary school, at the middle school, and at the high school, and just out of nowhere with 2 days' notice, released on Thursday night, started on Monday morning, new school time, that creates a hardship. Exact words from Dr. Tim Parrott to me. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, the principal of Clinton High School changed the school start time. Not only did they do that, they didn't reduce the school end time. So we've added 5-10 minutes a day to your school day. So, between 25 and 50 minutes a week. And if you're not there at the new time, you're tardy. If you're tardy this many times, you're absent. You're absent this many times, you're truant. You're truant, well, then you go to juvenile court. First I've heard of it, Dr. Tim Parrott told me on the phone. Let me check into it. Dr. Tim Parrott called me back and told me that all Anderson County principals have the authority to change the school start time when they want to. Did y'all know that? If you all are out there and you have the ability to change the school start time, if you'd move it up to about 9:30, man, you'd make my life a lot easier. Since you have the authority to do that, and it's been done at Clinton High School, look and see. Check me on this, guys, please. So now we got a bunch of kids getting tardies, going through all this stuff, because they changed the school time. And they said they changed the school time because they've got so many announcements that they have to make. They need the kids in there earlier to get the announcements. Guess what? We've got technology that you can push a button and you can tell us that the buses are late within 10 seconds. You can push a button and tell us school's called off. You can push a button and tell us when you lock it down. I'll get back to the Lake City Elementary School and the stories about lockdowns in a minute. But you can't push a button and put the announcements on there, so we got to start school early. I call BS. I called it then, I call it now. Dr. Parrott called me back, told me that they had the authority to do that. And I think I've called Dr. Tim Parrott with concerns about the school 3 times in my life, and 3 times in my life I've been told the teachers are right and everybody else is wrong. And Tim, I know I'm paraphrasing, and you and I are friends, but you know what I'm saying on the air is the truth, and if you don't believe it, you're welcome to call, and I'll get up, and you can take this microphone and rebut anything that I say, but everything I'm telling you is provable, accurate, and true. Teacher right, principal right, Ron wrong, get her there on time. I mean, I could go through a lot of stuff, but everybody's got this stuff. I'm leading up to a point. I'm leading up to a thing. I'm leading up to the crux of the conversation. Change time school, change kids' grades, pretend there's only 2 people in the whole world know about it. That's not true. Coaches, listen to me careful. And you know what? Maybe I should just read it to you I'll just tell you, and then you guys can call and read it to me if you want to. Going in with transcripts and saying, change this to a teacher. Teacher says no. Coach leaves. Comes back again. Same transcript. This time with Principal Jenkins signed it. Change this. Teacher still says no. Calls Principal Jenkins. Principal Jenkins says, change this. Teacher changes this. Teacher's now fired. So who did we change that for to be able to play ball? And do we lose that Oak Ridge game because that person was playing ball and they only could play ball because the grades were changed? Or did we change it so they could go on to get a school scholarship? Or did we change it? Why? To help, I mean, maybe it was with the best intentions, trying to help somebody get that extra half a point. I don't know. I know what was said, printed, and documented. It was changed to help people play sports, get into college, and get the bad ones out. Who are the bad ones? Now, if you've got enough backbone, if you've got enough swagger to change the names to get the bad ones out, please have enough backbone, swagger, and testicles to call and tell me how you determined the bad ones. You won't. I know it. I'm live on the record, on TV, the radio, all over the world, on the internet, all over Anderson County, Knoxville, and East Tennessee on the radio, telling you the truth of what happened. And there's a lot more I am going to tell if this school board, director of schools, and administrators do not address it immediately. Where are all you all that were posting on Facebook? I need to hear from you because I need your perspective. I mean, other than just calling me fake news, false news, telling that the radio station is out to get somebody, like I'd be out to get the school systems that I pay taxes for and put my children in. And don't think for a minute that they couldn't go anywhere else. You can move your kid wherever you want to. So can I. So, I mean, the asinine comments from the ignorance of, trying to destroy the schools that are teaching his kids. If you elect those kind of people, take my word for it, you deserve what you get, which, guess what we've got? People changing grades. You got people that have been on the school board the whole time this is happening. In fact, I know, well, I shouldn't say I know. I have information of a particular board member that's known about it. All that's yet to come, but. So, now, how do we get past this? Bad things like this happen. People do stupid things all the time. We make terrible mistakes. Nobody's irredeemable. We can fix it. How are we going to fix it, though? I mean, Dr. Parrott had said he was going to retire in a couple of years, 2 years, I think. I'm not calling for Dr. Parrott to retire. I'm not saying that, but someone's, there's more than one, and all that are involved, if you have knowledge of it, if you're still in our school system, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to show what I know, and I'm going to ask why you're still allowed to be teaching, administrating, or even around our kids when you're a known, I don't know, is it a felony to change somebody's grades? You know, I questioned changing the start time of school. And they said, well, why, Ron? The principals have the authority to do that. Well, you see, if you are tardy enough, you're absent. If you're absent enough, you're truant. If you're truant enough, guess what? You get cited to court. It becomes a legal issue. So our principals have the authority to change the law, the Tennessee state legislating law, because they did. I don't think they do, but we let it happen here. Nobody stepped in and fixed it. Nobody said, hey, put the brakes on. In fact, our director of schools didn't know about it. Am I right, Dr. Parrott? So, is it better to protect your brood of teachers? And I'm glad that you do. But when something like this goes on, this is when you throw people under the bus, because these are the people you shouldn't have hired in the first place, but you didn't know. We didn't know, but now you do know. And the people that we've named teachers of the year, principals of the year, we're changing grades to get there. You've got an obligation to fire them. If they so much as knew about it and kept quiet about it and let innocent kids be moved through the system that sign an X for their name, like Big John Tate, it's your fault. I know I'm a little exaggerating because I think most kids can read and write today. But to pass them through classes and say they know it when they don't, to pass them on to colleges, to workforces, saying you've given them the education that our tax dollars paid you to give them when you're a liar and you know that you didn't, when you just pretended, marked up the grades, marked down the grades, got rid of the one. Here's the other thing. When we only marked up the grades of the bad ones to get rid of them. Well, I wonder if my kids' grades are being changed because I haven't. After I released what I released, I was accosted, attacked, called everything but green. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I ask you right now, your silence is your approval. So are we all okay with changing kids' grades to get them out? Changing kids' grades to get them into the game? Changing kids' grades to help them get into college? And let me ask you this. If we can pick that, if you piss off an administrator and they change your kid's grades, knock him just below what he needs to get that Hope Scholarship, what are you going to do about it? I have a feeling you're getting ready to see lawsuits. In fact, I think there's already 2 in progress. I think you're getting ready to see lawsuits that are going to be far and wide against this county because of the negligence and the ignoring of what was going on. And I promise you, way more than the 2 people that this has been shouldered upon, 3 people, knew and know. I'm going to post the, maybe Jim already has the document, the partial truths that were released from just the 2 teachers, and there wasn't one from the principal because he resigned, but I just didn't know if y'all knew about that. I just want to know what you think about it. And like I said, so far, I mean, this has been pretty new, but I've already got one face-to-face that I will report, bring forward. If you all don't do it yourself, I'll do it. Where an administrator bumped all the grades up, an entire year of grades, lied, changed to move a student forward. That's a fact. Getting ready to be common knowledge for the whole world unless action is taken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my telephones and let you guys agree with it, what they do. Defend it, please. I will sit here and, like I said, I'll get up and walk out. I'll sit right there, or I'll sit right back here and let you sit right here and talk about it. You know, I'm calling into, hey, my buddy David Queener sits on the Clinton City Council, was on the Clinton City School Board. Do we have people on our Clinton City School Board right now that are going to stand up for what was going on at Clinton High School? We do. We do, this very second. defending it, calling the news media fake news and all that other stuff. Uneducated people that are going to try and be over our children. If you let that kind of person continue in our school systems, you're going to turn Clinton Elementary School into this other type system that we're talking about, where they're changing grades to be great instead of just being great and working hard. Get school board members that are there to be school board members, not to be a stepping stone to be a city council person or to be something else. Shame on you using that. If you're not there for the kids, go, leave. So, here you go. My telephone number is 865-457-1380. We're at 119 Pine Road in Clinton. You have an invitation here over the next few moments to dial the 10 digits to reach me. If you can't afford the phone call, I'll pay for it. 877-711-4005. Just want to know if you're proud of your school systems. Want to know if your kids went through it. Want to know what your experience with it is this morning. This is WYSH Radio. You're on the air. Good morning. Ask your neighbor.
Yeah, Mr. Meredith.
David Queener, thank you for calling me.
Well, you sort of called me.
I just said I wanted your opinion. I'm sorry.
Called me out. So.
I didn't mean to call you out in a negative way. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't call me out. I didn't take it negatively. I thought, well, maybe I need to call.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you did.
You know what? I heard you say a while ago that you was a Republican. I didn't know that.
Thank you, Dave.
I didn't know you was a Republican. I thought you'd met me halfway or something, maybe.
I do meet you halfway, sir.
I know you do, buddy. I know you do. Hey, listen, I'm a 1976 graduate of Clinton High School.
Amen.
Okay? And it is embarrassing to know that we've had this go on at the schools. I'll say that. First of all, I know when it all came out, everybody's just been waiting on what the results were going to be. So I don't know too much more about it than what I've read either or heard on the news. So that's really all I know about it.
That's enough.
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is enough. Like I said, it is a black eye, and you know, man, I just can't believe it. I really just want to deep down inside say this has got to be a bad dream or something. This really didn't go on, but it's apparent that it really did go on.
Yeah, it did, and it's heartbreaking.
It is, and to know that maybe you moved somebody up a grade level and they might have knocked somebody out, I mean, of getting a scholarship or something like that, I think that's even more. And then maybe you done it, you know, trying to make the stats go up for your school would be, you know, better. I mean, it's embarrassing. And, you know, Dr. Parrott is a good guy and everything, and I really liked him a lot. And, you know, I would just have to think that this is devastating for him. I mean, that's just me talking.
Well, it's devastating. It's devastating for a bunch of people. I spoke to a student of Clinton High School who said this, and I posted this. You might have read it. Was going in for a scholarship interview, and it was before the interview started, but one of the interviewers jokingly said, "So are you one of the kids they changed to give you good grades or bad grades from Clinton High School?" And laughed about it. I don't know if the kid got the scholarship or not, but it's out there. People awarding scholarships know that we lie about our kids' grades, either to get rid of them or because we want them in better schools. And again, that's going to cost, that costs children scholarships. It costs people places on sports. It costs, I mean, we picked and choose who was going to be the winners and the losers. Who got to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a big black eye, and it's, you know, like I said, I went through the system over and graduated from over there, and it's you know, it's a shame that it came down to this today. So,
yeah.
you know, I don't know. So,
Well, you're one of my best friends, and you've served on a school board. You've been here. You've served this city for 50 years. You've serving on city council, and I asked for your perspective. I'm sorry if I called you out, but I wanted to hear from you.
Well, no, you did. I didn't think you did call me. I just heard you call my name. I thought, well, maybe he wants me to call in. I don't have no problem with calling in. And yes, I served on the school board, and yes, I am currently serving on city council. And, you know, I do everything on the up and up, or I try to anyway. And, you know, yes, people make mistakes, but when I served on the school board, you know, I did what I thought was best, you know, for, you know, kids, teachers, and everybody. But to know that you could have somebody that, you know, was supporting that this was all right to do, I'm not on board with that.
Hey, you can go back to our April 15th post, and you can see.
It's not all right to do. We need to understand one thing. This is not all. If you're an Anderson County School Board member, this is not all right that it's going on. It's not all right. And I'm sure there's more than 3 people involved in this.
Yep.
I'm sure there's more than 3.
You're right, buddy. Thank you, pal.
I mean, that's just the way I look at it. So, I'm glad I don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Well, again, Clinton City School Systems is untarnished, and I hope we don't put people. I hope that we do not have, you know what, I'm not even going to go there. Here, let me ask you to do this. You've got people running for council, and you've got people on the school board. I'd appreciate it when you get a chance, if you get a chance, just ask them if they support the people that changed the grades, and if they still are calling it fake news and everything else, because they're right there making decisions for our kids right now. And I think that they approve of what was going on in the county school system, or at least what they posted on our site and quickly erased, and they're running for office. So I'd appreciate if our council would vet that before you guys go welcoming with open arms these cheaters into places of authority. So just saying, I'll get deeper into all that after we get through all this.
Okay. Well, I don't, like I said, I'll be straight on the record right now. I don't support it. But I'm on Clinton City Council. That has nothing to do with the Anderson County Schools.
Amen.
But as a city council member, and that school has nothing really to do with Clinton City. It is a county school. It is not a city school.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't support it if it was on the elementary school level or whatever level. I don't support it. And I think it's a black eye on anybody that's ever attended Clinton High School. It's got to be a day that you're not proud of.
Hey, DQ, I got others calling if you don't care, and I appreciate you greatly.
Go ahead and take it, buddy. Take it. I'll see you. Bye.
Bye-bye. For those of you that are online, if you hung up, call me back right quick. I'll get you on. Good morning. This is Ask Your Neighbor on WYSH.
Good morning. I was calling for Ron Meredith's broadcast.
Are you live? Are you listening to it?
Yeah, I can see it. I've got it turned down.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're live on it right now. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Richard Sneed. I am at Clinton.
Hi, Richard.
I am a 1973 graduate of Clinton High School, and I was just calling to tell Ron to keep charging. I've listened to him this morning. I agree with most everything he says. I went from Clinton to the United States Naval Academy, where I graduated. Admiral Rickover accepted me into the Navy's nuclear power program.
Oh, wow.
And I served 27 years in submarines.
Thank you for your service.
I commanded the attack submarine USS Oklahoma City, and then subsequently a squadron of 7 attack submarines, Submarine Squadron 1 at Pearl Harbor. I was also Deputy Commandant of Midshipmen at the U.S. Naval Academy as a Navy captain, which is effectively the Academy's Dean of Students.
Oh, wow.
I have some significant experience in molding and leading young people.
Yes.
And I will tell you that what has been reported to this point and appears clear is the antithesis of the fundamental of leading young people, which is that you treat them fairly, both collectively and individually. You say what you mean, and you mean what you say.
Yes, sir.
That is how you create a quality organization, a quality operation when you're dealing with youngsters.
Yes, sir.
And I'm talking about young adults as well.
Absolutely.
The principles always apply. So, I just tell you, keep charging. You're on the right track. This is what was called in the Navy, sounds to be a project bottom blow operation, where you've got to get rid of the people who have been complicit. It's just as simple as that, or ignored it, or been ambivalent.
Yes.
There's just no room for it, and most particularly when you're dealing with young people, because they will remember all this.
Oh, yeah.
This teaches all the wrong lessons.
Yep.
And so you've got to go after root causes. When in the Navy's nuclear power program, if something happened, you had to report that to naval reactors. In my day, that was Admiral Rickover. And if you identified a cause, and he read all those things, if you identified a cause and he didn't believe that you had pulled the string enough and gotten to a root cause, you might get a phone call.
Yes, sir.
A very unpleasant phone call. So you're on the right track here, Ron. Pull the strings, and let's take this thing to the deck plates, because that's what you have to do. That's our obligation.
I agree.
So I'm with you.
Mr. Sneed, thank you very much. I appreciate your call, appreciate your service to our country, and it sounds like your education at Clinton High School served you very well, sir.
Oh, well, let me tell you, some of my teachers were fantastic teachers.
Yes, sir.
And, I had the grades and whatnot to get into the Naval Academy. I took today they would call them AP. I don't know what we called them then, but
still AP.
I took all those classes.
Yes, sir.
Coach Fisher, the football coach at the high school at the time, he was replaced by Ken Honey.
Yes, sir.
His wife was my calculus teacher.
Yes, sir.
And it was, I thought I really knew what I was doing. So when I got to the Naval Academy, I took the advanced placement exam.
Okay.
I didn't pass. I had classmates who validated 4 semesters of mathematics.
Wow.
They validated all of calculus and differential equations coming right out of high school.
Oh, wow.
Now, so, that sort of tells you where your high school was relative to others in our country.
Understood.
And yet at the time, so what are we talking about today? I mean, come on, man. If we want our kids to be competitive, particularly in this modern world, we have to equip them to be competitive. So you're on the right track. I'm not going to preach anymore. I'm preaching to the choir. So keep charging, Ron.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sneed. Thank you for calling. I appreciate the support, and I hope, the whole idea is to make change. So, God willing. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Goodbye. Phone lines have been full. It's open right now. I had 2 that were on that fell off. If you'll call right this second, I'll stop right here, and I will give you a moment to dial. I know folks that this happened to. If you're out there and you think, I'm retired, it don't affect me. It does. It affects you. It affects kids all over the place, which will affect you. But I know people. I call them right now on the phone. Pick the phone up and call them. They tell you the same thing I'm getting ready to tell you. They pulled their kids out of Clinton High School and began homeschooling them because of this. And there are no vouchers. I've sat here and talked about the evils and the good things about vouchers. You know what this is going to do? This is going to make people stand up and say, see, I told you. And you know what it's going to hurt? It's going to hurt schools like Clinton City schools. Because right now, you've got a force mounting. It's already started going, see, we told you those schools were terrible. We told you those people were evil. We told you they were doing this. We asked for vouchers to help us get our children out of there because we don't make enough money. And you guys, including you, Ron Meredith, said vouchers were bad. And I did not say vouchers were bad. And neither did Superintendent Kelly Johnson. We didn't say vouchers were bad. We said what they were the legislation they were trying to pass was bad. If vouchers are good for kids, let me tell you what, you can write my name down on it and sign them up. But you need a test program. Arizona is bankrupting themselves because they threw vouchers out before doing any kind of investigation. But watch, listen to me. The next time vouchers come up, they'll take out all the incentives. They'll take out everything, and they'll run it straight down your throat. And they will, from here to Memphis, use Clinton High School as the reason. It'll go all over the place. Look at what public schools do. If they don't like little Bobby, they mark little Bobby, drop his grades, or raise his grades to move him out. That's why you don't want to trust your public schools. Thank you, administration of Clinton High School, for handing that to a lot of people that don't believe that carte blanche vouchers are an answer to helping our children. But man, I think you just proved all of us wrong. It doesn't matter. Because I swear, I think my senior son could do a better job teaching students than they've done over here right now. I shouldn't say that. I'm throwing all the I just put every teacher in a bag. I shouldn't do that. I apologize. I shouldn't say all the teachers. I should not do that. But there are some of you, some that are known, others that are getting ready to be known. And you know who you are. If I were you, I'd go ahead today. I would take my pencil and I'd say, thank you for my time here with the Anderson County school system. I am going to move on to a new school system. I resign. I think that would be the stellar thing to do before the reasons that you're forced to resign come out. Your phone calls, or we'll wrap up. I don't have anything else to say. I mean, I think I've said everything I've got to say about it. I think I've spoke to you the absolute details and truth. I think that I have reported to you. I'll tell you what I've done. I've reported to you what they've given us to report. What I haven't done is what they choose they don't want us to report. And I will tell you that. I'm this close to doing it right here, right now, and calling out names. And I really believe in my heart, I'm convicted that I should. But I can tell you, I've done stupid stuff before. And there have been many times that I wish I had been given the opportunity to right my wrong before my wrong did something bad to someone else or caused the problem that it did. I've made huge mistakes before that I wish somebody would have come to me and said, hey, that's a problem, dude. Change that. It'll make your life better. Instead of having to go through the hell and the fire and brimstone that I went through because of the dumb mistake I made. So what I'm trying to do is offer you an opportunity to avoid the fire and brimstone and learning the lessons the hard way. It's a mistake. Heck, when your boss tells you to change the grades, it's either you get fired or you change the grades. We just found that out, right? Or both. You change your grades and still get fired. I don't know if he's tuned in, but I can tell you this. I know one school board member that I would put my life in his hands and guarantee you that if he knew about this, he would scream it from the mountaintops, and if he had the authority, he'd fire him individually, and that's our good friend Don Bell. I know Don. I know him about as well as I know anybody. And I promise you, he didn't know about this. See, I've called Don, like, if I've had an issue, like I'm not going to go into great detail, but I've had an issue with a school administrator before that was something, it was more on a personal basis, you know? Not something you get on the radio and talk about. But I called Don, and he was like, here, you need to call Greg and call Mr. Deal, because Exactly. We don't put up with stuff like that, but he's who you need to call. But be aware, once you do that, it starts the ball rolling. Well, I didn't turn the administrator in yet. But I know for a fact that our Anderson County School Board has good, solid people on it. But I'm asking you right now, Don, or anybody else that's on the school board, or Dr. Perry, what's next? What are you going to do? Can you tell any of us how we recover from this? Can you tell us if you're going to fire the rest of them? Because I know you know. I know you know. I'm not saying Don knows. Let me back that up. It's good. I don't know how much the board knows, but there are other people involved in this. Thousands of grades were changed. Again, I'll ask this one last time, and then I'm going to wrap this up, or I'm going to go ahead and take... You guys, again, get back on the phones. I'll take the break. I'll answer your call. We'll do this. If you're okay with it, silence is complicity. That's fine by me. But don't complain when your kid don't get to college, or don't complain when they take away that Oak Ridge football game if there was a kid on the field that wasn't supposed to. Don't complain when they pull our ability to have sporting events and we lose those gates for every single sporting event that a person with a changed grade participated in. Don't complain when the state of Texas uses Clinton High School as a reason to get vouchers out. Don't complain when we become the absolute laughing stock of education if you don't step up and take care of it. It is a dirty, ugly, terrible job. But not one of you was put in shackles and chains and made to do it. You asked to do it. So do it, or don't. And if you don't, leave. CMC Recycling. While we've been in the Knoxville area for years, we've only recently opened CMC Recycling, and we're here to help everyone in the area with their metal recycling needs. Whether you're a large commercial or industrial customer, or you're just looking to trade some cans and old appliances in for cash, we're ready to help at CMC Recycling. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Stop in and visit at 2706 Mindurst Avenue, east of 640 off of Western, or visit CMCrecycling.com to learn more. Call 865-867-7364 for questions and pricing. All right. Good morning. This is Ask Your Neighbor, WYSH.
Yes, I have a couple questions, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can answer them, but I'm going to throw them out there.
All right, ma'am.
Okay, the first one was I had a child that was at Clinton High School, but her problem started at the Clinton Middle School. And what it was is when she started picking classes to go to the high school, she was told that unless she knew what her career was going to be when she graduated high school, that not only could she not pick the classes, like, for instance, a foreign language, she wasn't even able to go visit the college at the time either, like Rome State, because she couldn't decide. So with that said, I noticed today on the Clinton website that there were, from what I assume, several Spanish-speaking students that won awards, and one got awards for, I guess, scoring so high on the exams.
Okay.
Isn't Spanish for non-speaking Spanish students, or am I wrong on that?
I'm sorry, is Spanish class? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Is it for non-speak? No, I mean, I took Spanish.
Is it to teach you Spanish is what I'm trying to say, of your student Spanish?
The class is, yes, the Spanish class is to teach you how to speak Spanish, or at least it was when I went to school.
Yes, that's what I thought. And that was my second question. And then I wanted to say...
So kids who don't know English are taking the Spanish class and rocking it,
and scoring high.
Hey, give me a class in redneck speak, and baby, I will get A+++.
Right?
Yeah, Lord.
And then I wanted to compliment the caller from the Navy. what he said was excellent, and he exactly how I'm feeling about what it's done to the students.
I've had friends from Arizona that called me that said, you guys are we're starting to use you to keep our voucher program going, even though it's bankrupting us. You know, folks in Phoenix, people were complaining about the vouchers. Now they're coming out and going, look what's happening in public schools. This is why we're doing vouchers here in the state of Arizona. Yep. Thank you, Clinton High School. All right. Anything else, ma'am?
That's it. Thank you for the time.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Good morning. This is Ask Your Neighbor, WYSH.
Hey, good morning to you, Ron. I've lived around Clinton just about my whole life there, but Oh, okay, you're still here.
I'm here. You just got to turn me down a little bit.
Oh, okay. Then. But yeah, I've lived around here except for 4 years I spent in the Navy like Richard Sneed. He was a brain in school, though.
Guys like me and you, we weren't the brains.
Oh, no, sir.
I should say me. I won't include you. But me, I wasn't the brains.
Oh, I wasn't even close there. As a matter of fact, when I went to school in the early 70s there, I think what they call that corporal punishment.
Yeah. You mean you got your tail bust?
I was getting paddled in high school.
Yeah. Oh, I got paddled in. I think the last one was middle. Well, not 8th grade, 9th grade, but in my day, 9th grade was still at the middle school.
Oh, well, it was junior high school in my day.
Yeah, junior high. That's what it was called. Yeah.
But you know, I didn't like it at the time, but I was guilty.
Amen. Me too.
You know, with different things there, but. I don't know, to your knowledge there, like I say, I feel like I've been under a rock there, not being up to date with this there. But, I mean, is this something that's just been going on for the past 4 years?
Well, the teacher that they fired, Rachel Jones, testified. They said, how long has it been going on? She said, basically, I've been doing it since they hired Dan. They hired Dan in 2020, so I don't know if it was his brainchild or if he just inherited it or, I don't know. And I will tell you this, you can't be in that administration at that school and not know it's going on because those virtual classes or whatever they are, they know. So it would be like me not knowing what Jay said on the radio last night if he was on here cursing blue streaks. You know what's going on when you're part of the deal. So it's been going on at least 4 years, but in the last 4 months, Mike, over thousands, not 10 grades, not 100 grades, thousands of grades were changed in the last 4 months. So you tell me how many in the last 4 years. You tell me how many kids were discriminated against. How many kids did our school system disenfranchise? They missed college. Or maybe how many colleges were lied to about a child's academic status and gave them college money that your kids should have got who couldn't afford it because we lied about this kid's grades. How many times did our wonderful school system implement that strategy? Let me know if you know. I'm going to find out. I'll have a number for you. And if I don't have a number for you, I'll have the names of people who have a number for you.
Well, I believe really there that and I don't know, not to where this is at right now, but I believe that in the past there probably have been a few athletes that's gotten a little help there just to be able to stay eligible to play.
Oh, I'm sure that happens.
I know, I remember years ago there, this guy, he graduated, went through high school and graduated from college, was a defensive lineman for the Washington Redskins. His name was Dexter Manley. He had all them degrees, and he couldn't even write.
Couldn't read or write.
He couldn't read or write. Yep. I mean, of course, that's been probably even back before my days or in them, whatever.
I think that as a society and as a country, I mean, we don't agree with that, but we know that goes on, and I don't know, the excuse is, to move them on to a better life or whatever, but to get rid of the bad ones, that's a direct quote. To get, You think any of your
chooses who's bad?
Yeah. Any of your kids miss out on any academic opportunities? Well, maybe they just didn't like you, Mike. Maybe you said something on the radio pissed them off, so they just dropped the grade a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I got a team of attorneys. I'd turn them loose if I thought they changed one of my kids' grades. And I hope everybody within the sound of my voice, if you have the same fear, you'll do the same thing, because it's wrong. It's not just wrong, it's immoral. It's illegal.
Well, this Dan Jenkins, was he not like the principal of the year, and Clinton was so highly rated they became a STEM?
Hey, let me tell you something. If I could lie and say that I had 45 million people that listen to me every day, and I could lie about it, I'd be the radio station of the year, too. When you lie about your kids' grades, you can be anything you want to be. Yeah.
That's crazy there.
It's not crazy. It's illegal.
Immoral.
Exactly. And there's nothing crazy about it. It was a plan to further teachers and administrators and screw kids. Didn't care about the kids. I don't believe you can change a kid's grades because he's a bad one and really care about how he's going or she's going to turn out when they grow up.
Well, were these administrators, teachers, principal, whatever, do you think the kids that were struggling came to them and asked them to change their grades, or they just take it on their own to do it? Or did the parents call?
I don't, I'm not even going to venture into that. I know I'll tell you what I do know. I know that the coach hand-carried transcripts and said, change these grades for these kids. The coach did. In person.
So that they could continue to be eligible to play.
And I know that Rachel Jones said no. I know that the coach left the office, went to Dan Jenkins' office, came back with the exact same transcript and piece of paper, said, change these grades. She again said no, and he said, Jenkins signed it. She called Jenkins. Jenkins said, change those grades. She did and said, I'm not going to do this anymore. So they said, okay, you're no longer over the virtual program, and they moved the baseball coach. They moved Clay in to do it, and Clay has changed thousands of grades since doing that. So you tell me. I don't know. When I was a kid, when I was making bad grades, I didn't ask the teachers to change it. I mean, I did. There was many times I asked, is there anything? Hey, algebra? I failed algebra twice. And I went to my teacher and said, tell me anything I can do for extra credit to get me to a D. I'll stay after class. I'll do what I'll do. And Rick Hunley, bless his heart, worked with me enough to get me to pass. I still can't do algebra, but he didn't pass me just to do it. But he worked with me enough that I was able to pass a test with a D. So
I hear you talking there. I don't know if I can spell algebra. I know I can't spell calculus.
Me neither.
No, it was. I believe that we do have higher academic standards compared to the 70s, and where we're at now, I'm sure they're higher. And it's supposed to be for the betterment of the kids there, to keep up with I think that in Japan or China, I think they go to school year-round, the kids do. So we're trying to stay as smart as them, I guess, there. But it's this, yeah. These people, if they're doing that there just to make themselves or the school look better, I think that there needs to be some course of action taken.
They need to be fired and brought up on charges. Because
I was going to ask you, would this be considered criminal?
Well, I'll just ask you this. You know what, Mike? Let's say you make $45,000 a year, and let's say you want to send your kid to college and you need that extra scholarship, but his buddy got the scholarship, and it's because they changed his buddy's grades. Now, your kid didn't get to go. Wouldn't you consider that?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what happened. That's happened. So I think it's not just immoral. I think it's not just calculated evil. I think it's illegal. There's got to be legislation somewhere that says a teacher doesn't have the authority to pick and choose who gets to move through our state school system. John Reagan is scheduled to be here. Tomorrow's the 17th, isn't it? Reagan is scheduled to be here tomorrow, and we'll just ask him about it.
No kidding there. If I'd have known this already, I would have called in, and because I know you were out yesterday, but Sheriff Barker was up there.
Yeah, I went to Claxton Elementary School yesterday, but I've been very ill, very sick. Thank the Lord, I'm probably moving at about 60% right now, but I didn't think I was
about physically ill, not just mentally ill.
You know, I've been mentally ill my whole life, pal, but physically ill, yeah. I've been having they thought it was gallbladder stuff. I don't know what it is, but I'm better. Thank the good Lord. Thank you, Jesus. But so I didn't get to hear Russell yesterday, but I was told he and Jay did a great job.
He did do a great job there. I was going to call and tell him. I thought, him being a former police officer himself there, they had a lot to talk about, and it was real interesting, and Jay done an excellent job.
Jay does an excellent job, and I want to just give a shout-out to right now to Jasper, because when he found out that I was down at Claxton, he came down and he said, you're going to leave, I'm going to do this, you're going to the doctor. I said, Jasper, I'm not going to leave. You go on and I'm going to sit right here, and if something happens, I'll call you back. But Jasper was trying to parent me and get me to the doctor too. I've got great people that work with me up here. I really do.
Absolutely.
They care about you guys, and they care about me.
Oh, that's great there. That's the kind of people that you want working for you and around you.
Oh, I've got the best people in Anderson County that work with me, and I wouldn't take anything for them, and I appreciate every single one of them.
Well, I'm just surprised there that we haven't had unless they just don't want to talk. I mean, what were you getting, like Facebook things about how you're trying to tear?
Oh yeah, and I don't know if I should. I mean, people I guess could go to the Facebook, WYSH's Facebook, my personal Facebook, and go back to the 15th, and you can see the people. A bunch of them, when this came out yesterday, went and deleted all their comments. Where are you now, guys? Why aren't you calling in? I swear to you, I want so bad to call them out on the radio and tell you who they are so you won't vote for them. But,
I just,
I know.
All people that hide behind social media.
I know, but one of them is currently on the city school board.
Oh, Lord.
And running for city council. I don't know that I want that. I don't know that, I don't know that I want someone that takes up for this type of activity representing. I don't want, if somebody goes in there and starts messing up Clinton City schools, there's going to be a bunch of people, man. We've got a stellar school system there that don't need that type of influence.
It won't go undetected, or it won't happen under Kelly Johnson's leadership. I can about guarantee you that.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if she has the authority to replace board members or not, but if she does, I hope she would.
Absolutely there. Well, I'm going to leave you with this, Ron, there, and I saw this on the news now, just it makes me wonder where the world is headed right now, but this was, it wasn't CNN, I'm sure it was Fox News there. I can't hardly watch CNN, but anyway, it was one, I ain't going to say for sure, but anyway, they reported that there was a school teacher that was not going to be retained by the principal. And so what he done was, with this artificial intelligence, he was able to duplicate the principal that wasn't going to retain him's voice and made these real derogatory statements there and put it live for everybody to hear. But somehow or another, they figured out, man, this wasn't the principal. This right here was artificial intelligence. So I don't know where the world is headed with it.
I wish that Dr. Parrott could come and say, hey, Ron, this is a case of somebody did artificial intelligence, pulled the wool over everybody, but it's not. It's not. We knew about it. Like I said, I knew about the kid, the autistic child in the creek. I sat on that for weeks. Our school board, our administration knew about it. The Lake City Elementary School administration knew about it. They were cautioned. They were threatened if they talked about it because they didn't want it to get out. That's not right. None of that is right.
You can't. I mean, they made a big deal out of those two kids that got out of that daycare center, if you remember.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember. I remember.
Lordy.
But when it comes to protecting the golden thing, the animals against they do no wrong. And you know what? If you're the king of protecting that, you're the king over a pile of manure. That's nothing that I would be proud of protecting. You need to get the bad eggs out so the good eggs can do their job.
Absolutely. I agree 100% there. Well, let me ask you this before I go to there. And I kept forgetting there, but did you check out the skies over the weekend?
No, I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed, but Tracy went outside and took pictures and brought them to me. I literally couldn't get out. I didn't get out of the bed from Friday, probably at 6 in the afternoon until yesterday. I got up a couple of times, but yesterday morning. I mean, I was
puppy then, buddy.
I was sick, pal. I couldn't walk to the window. That's how sick I was. I lost 14 pounds in 4 days.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, somebody. Yeah,
I was sick.
You were sick there, but I hopefully got to the bottom of it there and got you straight.
Yeah, they worried it was a couple things. They worried it was my cancer. They were, and there's all kinds of stuff. But look, good. They gave me some stuff. They said, take this because there's a chance it's viral. And if it's viral, this will knock it out of you. And thank the Lord through prayers and penicillin or whatever it was, I'm here today and get to stay on this earth another day. And I had a fantastic day yesterday at Claxton. I am so glad the Lord allowed me the breath and the strength to get up and go do that. I so much love being around those kids, being around people. I like being out in the public. I just like people.
I know. My son used to make fun of me. He said, Dad, I hate going to the store anywhere. You want to talk to everybody. I said, well, I just enjoy people.
I'm the same way. I do. I love people. I love Clinton. I love being here. And I just got so excited talking to those kids and listening to them. I had kids sing for me, and I bet I signed 300 autographs.
Oh, gosh.
I did.
Hollywood.
I think I wore my pink jacket, so I think it's kind of stood out so much.
Oh, okay, I got you. So what were you doing, just over there speaking to them about radio or something?
It was career day.
Career day. Oh, okay, then. Okay.
Oh, and I got a chance to meet Rex Veach from out the lab. They're working on stuff going to the moon, man. I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm going to get him on the radio, and he can tell you some of the stuff they're doing at the Oak Ridge lab. We're going to Mars. We're going to the moons of Saturn. It's amazing what's going on that he could tell me and to you about. It's so exciting.
You need him up on the radio.
Oh, no, he's coming. We've already agreed. I got to call him and get a date. And then I was with Trey last night and was showing it to him and telling it to him. He got all excited about it, too, because he's going into going to be an astrophysicist, and that's right up the alley for the lab.
Oh, absolutely. Did that Boeing thing that they were going to send into space, did it ever lift off their ship?
I don't know, Mike.
I know they delayed it one day, and I never heard anything else about it. I missed the news or something.
I don't know, pal.
Like I did the Aurora Borealis. I forgot all about it, too. But
boy, it was pretty, though. Tracy took pictures. It was beautiful.
Oh, wow. That's something.
Like I said, I didn't get to see it with my own eyes. I could kind of see it out. I've got French doors in the bedroom, and I could look out, but I've got a porch, and so the roof goes over the porch, and so I couldn't really see it. But she went out and took pictures of it and brought it in and showed it to me.
Well, you got one of them high-dollar telescopes, too, don't you?
I do. Well, it's not high-dollar, but I do have one. The boys bought me one. For Father's Day. I used to have an expensive one, but that was 25 years ago, and he died over the years.
I got you there. Well, so are you going to do more reporting on this stuff?
Yeah, I am. We've got more. It's hard to make a decision when to say something and when to say on
start dropping names.
Yeah, because like when with the child in the creek, I knew about that. It happened on the 10th. I was told about it on the morning of the 14th. And I was asked to wait to report it because the teachers that were involved, there's a group of people that knew, and they knew it would come from them, right? And exact words, we were threatened not to say anything.
Oh, wow.
And so I tried. It took me a week to get it confirmed from some other source that I could quote before we said it. So when I start speaking the things I know, there's only a number of people that know it. And so it's going to be one of those numbers of people that leaked it. So what I try to do, I'm going to try and find another way to present the information so as not to get anybody in trouble for telling me stuff that they've been threatened not to tell about the bad things going on in school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you work for a place where they tell you you'll get in trouble for reporting wrongdoing, you're working for a bad person. And I'm telling you, if they tell you you're not allowed to speak the wrongdoings going on that are hurting children, if that doesn't turn your soul black or hurt your feelings and tell you something's wrong, and there's something wrong with you. You need to move on. Because when something's happening that affects our kids and you know about it, you should stand up and scream it. And if somebody attacks you for it, then we're going to all know who the guilty party is, the person that's attacking you.
Yes, I agree with you. So I'll stay tuned in. Is there something now on the WYSH's website about this as well?
Oh, yeah, I've been there since yesterday.
Since yesterday. I didn't check it yesterday. That figures.
Well, it's there, pal.
All righty, Ron. Thank you for your time there. And Richard Sneed, I appreciate his call, too, there. I knew he was a brain in school, but I didn't realize and I knew he was a naval officer, but I didn't realize he'd reached the heights he did there. He was a good one there. So thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Mike. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye.
I swear, I almost wanted to text Tracy and have her text me the names of those folks, but I feel like that would just be I don't know. Everybody makes mistakes. And if I got in trouble or if I was held accountable for everything I've stood up for that ended up being incorrect, I probably would have a lot to answer for. So, I think that maybe you try and show a little bit of grace through patience and hesitancy so that people can right their wrongs. Good morning, WYSH Radio. Ask your neighbor.
Hey, Ron, I got something I want to let you know.
Oh, you're going to let me in on something? I love it. Let me in.
Last school season, there was I'm not going to say what school, but there was a third grade child that left the school and walked over 4 miles home. The teacher got suspended for 3 days, moved the next school season. SRO, nothing was done about him or the principal. It's all swept under the rug. And it also is Anderson County School, elementary school.
So now we got a kid that walked 4 miles that was in third grade, and we've got an autistic preschool kindergartner that was playing in the river.
Yes, sir.
Holy cow. What did
but yet they think there's nothing wrong with this. The SROs that they have, they are at the schools, but they're in their office or in the teacher's room, and don't pay attention to what's going on around them or outside.
You see, here's how I look at that. I mean, stuff like that is going to happen in life. Kids are going to do stuff. It's going to happen. The best way to do that is to say, this kid walked out, our SRO was supposed to be there, or Mr. or Miss so-and-so was supposed to, and they weren't. And this happened, and it's wrong. We're learning from it. We're going to fix it. It's not going to happen again. Mr. or Mrs. so-and-so has been, they've been disciplined, and bring it to the public and say, hey, we screwed up. Because me and you, we screw up every day. I mean, it happens. We're human. But when you hide it, and then when you attack anybody that speaks it, they call me all kinds of names, call me everything but green when I broke this story because I was attacking the schools. I'm not attacking the schools. You guys are liars about what happens at the school, and you try to cover it up. Just because I'm talking about your failures, I'm not wrong. It's wrong to cover it up. It's not wrong to fail. It happens. But you say...
We all make mistakes.
Pardon me, sir?
We all make mistakes.
Yes. And pretty much all of us will agree and live with each other's mistakes. We understand that.
Exactly. But the point I'm trying to get understood is this child was gone for over 2 hours without being noticed he was gone.
And that was last year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this goes, see, that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. This is not an isolated incident. When it very first happened, they're like, oh, it was one kid or two kids maybe. No, thousands of grades, hundreds of kids that they picked, the bad kids. And then we've got kids walking out of schools, playing, kids that are autistic, playing in the river. Autistic kids love water. Anybody that's ever been around one knows it. Then we've got a third grader now walking 4 miles home, gone for 2 hours, and nobody at school noticed. That's what I'm frustrated about in this county. So, anyway, you know what I'm telling you is the truth because you just evidently lived it. Did I lose you? Made somebody at the phone company mad, I guess. Did my phones go all the way out? Nope, they're back. Well, there you go. I will take let's see. I'll take a 2-minute break. You guys gonna go ahead and line up. Go ahead and put them on hold. I'll take a quick break. I will come back and see if anybody else has anything else to say. You know, maybe I'll see if Don has anything to add to it. Like I said, there are people that I would trust with my very life that serve in public office, serve as school boards, serve as whatever. But so I know there are people that I can call and ask that aren't gonna pee on my leg and tell me it's rain. They'll tell me the truth, or they'll tell me they don't want to talk about it, or whatever. Whatever they tell me, I can take to the bank. And so maybe I'll see if I can reach out. Or maybe, I'm just saying, gosh, where are all the haters? I know you're listening. Oh, wait, watching. That's usually the typical way it happens. Haters gonna hate. Isn't that a Taylor Swift song? Haters gonna hate, 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 hate. Am I right? If my wife is listening right now, she just cringed. Oh no, my husband is not singing Taylor Swift. You're right. I'm tempted to text Tracy and see if she'll send me those names. 865-457-1388, 777-114005. I don't even know their names. That's how much attention I pay. But there are a lot of folks that love me. My mom, my wife, my stepdaughter, my sons, they read that stuff about what you guys write. And it bothers them, but it's okay. Because at the end of the day, my son told me last night, he was like, yep, Dad, I knew you were right. So, oops.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or going to the grocery store for milk instead of buying your own cow. You know there's an easier and better way. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank God. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans for $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Oh. Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
Uh-huh. What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
Uh-huh. I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
It's time for new flooring, and just in time, Karen's Carpet Sales is offering the sale of a lifetime on LVP from Mohawk. Waterproof floating floor with an innovative lacquer that repels dirt and grime for simple cleaning. And best of all, it's only $1.99 per square foot and comes with a 25-year residential warranty. If it's time to freshen up the look of your home, nothing brightens it up like new flooring. Whether you decide on carpet or laminate, let Karen's Carpet Sales help you give your home just the look you want. Come in and see what's new and bring your imagination. Laminate vinyl plank is waterproof, scratch resistant, and you can choose from several colors. And when your floors look good, you feel good. Karen's Carpet is your headquarters for flooring, carpet, laminate, and on sale now, LVP from Mohawk. Karen's Carpet has been serving East Tennessee for over 50 years. They're located in Claxton, 1961 Clinton Highway, 865-945-3353. Karen's Carpet, the store that gives you more. 945-3353. No time is a good time to have to call a tow truck, but when you have to make that call, Lowe's Tows is ready to help you. Lowe's Tows, a Wreckmaster certified operator serving Anderson and Campbell counties, Powell and Haskell for over 29 years. And they can tow anything with wheels, whether it's a car, truck, motorcycle, everything from a Volkswagen to a